Springfield's rock station Q102. What is going on and what is good? I'm Cruz, and I'm really excited because I am joined by a very special guest today, Mr. Scotty Austin. Scotty, man, 2024 has been busy for you, right?
Man, it's been wild. I've been touring nonstop, making music, just having a blast, to be honest, having a blast.
Now, I ask all of my guests this because it is football season, but who is your favorite NFL team?
Tennessee Titans.
Okay, that makes sense, but what do you think about that quarterback situation there in Tennessee?
Well, I don't want to talk about him.
I think Levis is too busy doing mayonnaise commercials, you know?
Yeah. No comment. Yeah. I like the colors of the team, I'll say that. I miss Steve McNair and Eddie George, man, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Have you watched that new documentary about Steve McNair, by the way?
Yeah, that's wild.
So are you in any NFL fantasy leagues at all this year?
No, I'm not. My drummer is. He's all about it, and he's winning right now in his competition. I just don't know enough about it to put myself in that situation. Plus, I'm not very good at gambling. I've been pretty lucky with life, but when it comes to gambling, I lose. We could flip a coin, and I'm going to lose,
Well, you are smart, my friend, because I'm in 3, and it is the biggest waste of time in my life right now. But, Scotty, man, you've been in music for a number of years. Where did you get your start at?
Well, I grew up in a Christian family with a bluegrass Christian band with my grandfather was the band leader, so all of my family did it. We're Pentecostal. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's like basically a rock and roll show for God is how it was. Every song is really fast. And I started out playing drums, and, my uncle was a guitar player, and he passed away in a car accident, and my family was like, well, now you got to play guitar because we need a guitar player. So I slowly just worked my way to the front of the stage, and it's just who I am. It's in my blood. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So then you're playing multiple instruments through your life, right? I mean, guitar, drums, vocals. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I play a mandolin, banjo, piano. I played a little accordion. My mother was an accordion player, so I had to learn some accordion. We're not very good at it, but I can pull it off in a pinch. Like dulcimer, a lot of different stuff. I don't play any of the bowed instruments like the violin, but, it plays like the mandolin, so I know all the notation, so I could play it with my fingers.
Dang, dude. See some of that talent for the rest of us. Now, Scotty, you were the lead singer of Saving Abel for a number of years. How did all that come to be?
That's a wild story. I was a band leader on Stony Creek Broken Bow Records out of Nashville, which is, Jason Aldean's label, as a country guitar player. And I just got sick of the country industry because it was so production line that I just quit and I moved back home to my mom's. And this is, years and years ago. I wrote all these songs over the years. I had a son and he's autistic and he's nonverbal. And I decided I wanted to record all these songs so he would have them, after I'm gone. So I got them for him. I gathered enough money to record a record, for him. And Saving Abel's manager got a hold of it somehow. Jeff Hansen, he's also the guy that discovered Creed, is a big manager, He called me on the phone. He's like, God, he's like, you have the worst voice ever. He goes, but for some reason, I can't stop listening to it.
Wow.
He's like, I think it's amazing. He's like, it's my favorite record of the year. I'm like, well, that's very kind of you. But once again, the industry had jaded me. And he's like, I want to be your manager. And I'm like, I don't care, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, if you want to be my manager, I want to open for Saving Abel because they were playing in Memphis that coming weekend, like 3 days later, because I'm from West Tennessee and Saving Abel is like the biggest band from that area. I was like, well, I want to open for Saving Abel. And he goes, done. So he called up and kicked the opening band off and put my band at the time on there. It was I was fronting a 3-piece called Trash the Brand at the time. And he put us on as the opening band. And the next morning, Saving Abel called me and said, you're our new lead singer. We're going tour in 2 weeks.
Wow, that is freaking wild.
It is wild, man. It's been a wild ride, I'll tell you that. Played 8.5 years after with them, 300 shows a year.
Now, I knew some of that story, but I didn't know all of it. That is absolutely crazy, Scotty. And I do agree with the Nashville thing. It is super easy to get burnout in the country world. I mean, I spent 10 years in country radio. I didn't gain any traction with any artist, any labels, anything. The most frustrating 10 years of my career for sure, because it is like an assembly line, just pumping stuff out. I go back to the rock world. I've got guys texting me that I grew up listening to. I'm emailing back and forth with managers, setting up interviews like with guys like you. I mean, it's totally different in the country world versus the rock world. It's not as assembly line or even like click wise. You got to be in the click
a manufacturing factory, yeah. Well, every record sounds the same because it's the same people playing on every record. I saw it when I was there. They'd sign great bands, sign these great country bands, and they would sign them to labels. It's not the labels that I was working with, but just different labels in general. I'll be vague about that. But they would sign these bands, and then they would take them to the studio, and they wouldn't let the band play on the records. So they'd bring in their guys, and then they'd let the singer sing. And the singer's usually the worst one in the band, generally speaking. So they would take him in, and he would record a record. And the label's like, this record's not any good. It's like, I don't know what changed. I'm like, you didn't let the band play on it. Not even the band you signed. So I just got so jaded with it that I went back to rock and roll, which I didn't actually pick rock and roll. I just started writing the songs that I had. And it just turns out that that's what I play,
Talking with Scotty Austin. Now, Scotty, you got a brand new single out called Left for Dead. How'd that song come to be?
Man, I started that one back when I was still with Saving Abel, but I just had the intro to it, and I would sing it to him all the time. I was like, I'll be the death of me if the whiskey don't kill me first, because I was joking around with my guitar player. He was drinking constantly. So I was making a joke about him, and I was like, I got this great song. And they're like, I don't know. I don't get it. After I left the band, I finished the song and accidentally put it out. I didn't even think about releasing this to radio. I just started working with a new label, and they were like, well, do you have any songs finished that, we could put out? I'm like, oh yeah, I got this song that I recorded. I didn't even consider it. It's doing really well for me. But you can listen to it and you can hear the church background in it, because you can really feel that in there. If you pay attention to the song, you can tell that I came from a Christian group with it.
Well, Scotty, looking at your website, your tour is going to be the rest of 2024 looking pretty busy for you, Scotty. You're about to hit the road with Tantric and Paralandra, the Rock and Roll for President tour. That's going to be a lot of fun, right?
It absolutely is, man. I love Tantric and Paralandra. They're fantastic. They're all great people. It's going to be a really fun tour. We're traveling quite a bit. I named it the Rock and Roll for President tour because I figured everybody was all ate up with politics right now. So one thing we can agree on is rock and roll.
That is the absolute truth. Now, Scotty, you got some big shows this weekend happening at Pierce Arrow Theater in Branson, right down the road from us. Now, if our road crew has never been to see you live, what can they expect Saturday and Sunday night at Pierce Arrow Theater?
A high energy, good time. I mean, I have a high energy show, and it's all about having fun. I think the world is depressing enough for people. I just do good, fun rock and roll. I think that's been missing for a while. It's here to have fun. Everybody can come out and say hello to me. I'm going to be here for 2 days, so we'll have some drinks after the show. I'd love to meet everybody. I actually love coming over to Branson. That's why I always do a 2-day event there, so I can party the first night after the show and then hang out with everybody. Stevie Lee, I'm going to try to get him up to play a song with me. It's all about fun. So this is my last show before we take off on that Rock and Roll for President tour. So we're going to do these two shows here. So it is going to be a barn-raising good time. So I tell everybody, please come out. You will not be, if you like good rock and roll, high energy rock and roll, you're going to love it.
Be sure to get your tickets for this weekend at Pierce Arrow with Scotty Austin at our website, Q1021.fm. But Scotty, where can our listeners get more details? Well, do not miss out this weekend. Get your tickets, by the way, at Q1021.fm. Scotty, where can our listeners get more info on you?
You can go to my website, ScottyAustinOfficial.com. And that has all of my tour dates. You can buy tickets there in advance. We have a VIP package that we just released. It's really cool that people can do. You come early and we play you a couple of songs on an acoustic guitar that's just for you. And it comes with a couple of merch items that are not sold to the public. Only VIPs can get them. I'm really excited about that. That's going to be awesome. But ScottyAustinOfficial.com, or you can find me on Facebook, any of the other social media sites as well.
Well, Scotty, man, we're looking forward to the concert this weekend at Pierce Arrow, Saturday and Sunday night. Road Crew, get your tickets now at our website, Q1021.fm or ScottyAustin.com. Thank you so much for your time today, brother.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. And I hope to see you there. Thanks again for doing this, and I hope to talk to you soon.